Hi, this is Matt Shaw, Chief Analyst, Knightsbridge Trading Academy. This is video training 24, spotting bullish doji morning stars. Now, this is in complete opposite to the last video. We just look at the signal the other way around. We just reversed this. Before we were looking at bearish evening dojis, now we're looking at bullish morning stars. Now, pretty much it's the same, but in reverse. It's quite obvious what we're looking for. In this case, we're pretty much looking for a 3 candlestick pattern, same in that respect, but of course coming from a downtrend, we're looking for that one last, like we look for an uptrend on the bearish reversal, we have that one last white up candle, we look for that one last down black candle. So it's a black down candlestick followed by either a very short candlestick or one with, again, a lot of wick to this, just like we see here. This example is on euro pound. The wick is extremely large in comparison to the entire candle itself, but we've got that cross. Again, it's not an exact line, but it's pretty much close to that. It pretty much opened closed slightly lower where it opened on the candle. We'll just go and look at this. Sorry, I was just about to switch there. We'll go and look at this on a bar. As you can see, that last bar down, and pretty much the candle hit a low down here below 83.30, just off 83.25 actually, and pretty much closed where it opened, there or thereabouts. Pretty much ideally is where we want it to close, right on par, but in this case it closed just below. That's a nice little reversal there. And then we look up for the white candle. Now the white candle needs to really get into and make up, it needs to make up and dent the previous down candle in this respect. Just like the down candle needs to dent the last up candle in the bearish pattern, this up candle does, and pretty much it does that and some. It completely engulfs the last down candle and tears into the candle before that. So pretty much you've got instant, this is on a daily chart, you've got your instant qualification there. Pretty much this was the setup. You don't get in on this day, you've got a good day then. Of course, look where the market ended up. That's sort of a 2-week rally with a couple of down days in between, but instantly you pretty much got onto a 40-50 pip profit, and then that's a good buffer then for your stop loss, to raise your stop loss from down below here, to raise it up to break even and raise it up pretty much into profit as the market goes higher. So again, it's a nice little reversal sign there. Let's go on to the next one. There's one on the pound dollar. Let's check that out. One good example here. Let's just zoom out of there. So we've got one here, very nice one, just between 21st and the 25th of August. Now, exactly the same as euro pound, pretty much exactly the same. This one here, we're just going to zoom in, log in, we've already logged in. Right, this is what we've got, pretty much again the same. Exactly the same. We've got that last candle lower, and we've got pretty much spot on doji there. We've got a lovely, nearly precise cross, wouldn't you say? Just pretty much edges higher from where it initially opened. And then of course you've got that candle higher, which completely takes out, like the euro pound example, completely takes out the previous last down candle and tears into the previous one before that, the day before that as well, and then leaps up and then goes on and on, even goes higher than 134, 135 over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually, up and up and up and up. Actually gaps higher. This was on the Friday, it actually gapped higher. You could have waited till the Monday, and then obviously from that Monday all that week it steadied itself that day, actually peeped back a little bit towards the moving average there, my very strong moving average there, and then made its way on higher from that point. So again, great example, that last down candle pretty much across. Let's just go into the bar chart to confirm. Pretty much closed where it opened, just at the tiniest 0.4 of a pip higher than where it opened on that bar. And again, on the candle, it comes across as that nice doji with a great third white candlestick that's closing well into that black body, and some again like the previous, and well into the previous black body. It doesn't need to engulf the last but one candle before it bottoms out. It just needs to do it to this one, which it did. And the fact it completely took it over, the confirmation was really set here, but this is the double confirmation, which is what you need before assessing and confirming that it's a bullish morning star. Lastly, let's go on. We've got one on Euro Yen. Let's just check that out. Excuse me. We've got one here, and I like this one because it's slightly different. So it's something good to learn. It's not all the same examples. Obviously, the market moves constantly in different ways. This is slightly different how we're assessing this. So what happened here? It's a lovely down, last down. Again, we've come from a down pattern already the previous week or two. From up this level here, we've come, headed back lower, tried to make an attempt higher, failed. One last big candle down, and again, candle, huge wick here, lovely cross, pretty much open just below, sorry, closed just below where it opened, making that lovely doji. And then again, the next day it has a white candle, but again, we have that big wick again. So nothing's confirmed here yet, although it's looking good. And of course, this candle doesn't really break and tear into this candle here like the others, and even they overtook the last down candle, didn't they? So what you've got to do, you've just got to wait some extra time for more confirmation. It's that simple. Whereas sometimes, and quite usually, you get your it's a three candle pattern, and you get the confirmation on the third candle. But in this case, sometimes they take a little bit longer to develop. But in this case, when this happened, you've got all the elements 90%, but to get that extra 10%, we get the next candle, which really does get into halfway of this candle. And if that's not enough, you just wait that little bit longer for extra confirmation. Does it come on the next candle? No, this actually ended lower, but this candle, 3 day, which ends up being 3 days later from the very first candle, this on the third day tears well over half of this candle. So your confirmation does get there eventually, and that's when, of course, it does take off. If you notice, once this is overtaken by a certain amount, it does take off. So there's really your confirmation. It didn't come on this day in this case, but of course, you know, there's not a set rule to these patterns. Sometimes they work perfectly, and it's a case of, right, it's that precisely, we see it now, get in. But sometimes you just have to wait. In these market conditions, sometimes the confirmation takes a little bit longer than other patterns, all to do with volume, all to do with price action, fundamental analysis, you know, fundamental data coming out to the market. So you've all got to take all this into consideration and just think, right, okay, it's pretty much setting up. I'm going to keep my eye on this, and over the next couple of days, let's see where the confirmation lies. And pretty much it got there eventually, but that's the signal of where it started to show it bottomed out and the reversal was on. Okay, on to the next video. Thank you very much.